Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about the mess. All right, y'all. So listen, I'm someone who I pride myself in being fair. I try to be. I try to be. I try to be. I think I do a great job at it, though. I believe that multiple things can be true at the same time. This is one of those situations. The numbers are in. I'm going to post it on the screen. This is according to Bravo ratings. So hashtag RHOP, season high. Y'all see the number? Y'all see the number? 0.76 million viewers. So listen, this is the thing. So the last episode, before the reunion is, I don't think the reunion comes on this weekend. I think the Super Bowl, I don't keep up with sports like that. I think the Super Bowl is this weekend. So the reunion doesn't come on this weekend. So I think they're going to start airing next week. But last week was Grammy weekend, and that was the last episode of the last episode of the season. Even though the season finale, they considered, it doesn't matter, girl. I was about to go down a whole rabbit hole. But yeah, so last week was the season finale. And Karen, it was the interview with Karen. So based off of these numbers, and plus I'd already read, most people already knew that Karen was coming back. Karen is coming back. We knew she was coming back prior to these numbers. I definitely think that this is something that will work in her favor. If I don't know anything about contracts or anything like that at Bravo or nothing, okay? But if, I'm assuming this could work in her favor as far as, negotiations, because clearly the people want to see the Grand Dame, or as, shout out to Andrew Gabor, as Andrew Gabor calls her, the Grand Drunk. Okay?
Oh, God. That's what I'm lit.
Yes, you are lit.
Can you?
That's why you're here.
No.
But the people want to see Karen. I like Karen. I do. I'm someone who wants Karen back on the show. Is she a Kiki? Yes. A dangerous Kiki? Yes. Okay. People like Karen. Clearly. People like Karen. And just because you tune in, that's not a clear indication. Because just because some people watch, some people hate watch, and then some people just probably want to just finish out the season. However, it still doesn't take away what I feel is the fact that this entire episode was about Karen, and this was the highest episode of the season. So that's just going to work in Karen's favor. That more than likely means that in my head, I think that they were able to bring on, extra bodies this season, extra girls, because they had some of the budget. Some of the budget was, available. Now that Miss Karen Hooger is coming back, she's gonna snatch that budget back. So that means a couple of y'all gonna have to get the boot. Some of y'all gonna have to go. Who's gonna go? I don't know, but I don't see them bringing everybody back plus Karen. Okay. Now with all that being said, Karen full of shit, like I said in my review. Karen hasn't changed. I still think that Karen is going to drink. I just think that Karen doesn't even call herself an alcoholic. After 4 alcohol-related offenses, 6 months in jail, 2 DUIs out of the 4 alcohol-related offenses, Karen will still not consider herself an alcoholic. What does she say? What does she say? She's someone who is living in lifetime recovery. Is that how she said it? Her focus was more so on the pills that she said that she was popping. But I feel Karen is still going to drink. She wanted to make it clear that the alcohol was not the problem, even though we know that alcohol was the problem. But if she can, draw more focus on the pills and say that it was the pills, then if someone ever saw her having a drink somewhere in the near future, whether it was 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, she could always say, baby, I never had an issue with alcohol. It was always the pills. I think that Karen thinks she's smarter than everybody. Karen probably thought she had hit a home run with that interview. No, it was still the highest rated episode of the season. But before I even watched the interview, I got on Twitter to see what the people were saying, and they were wearing Karen low. Okay? And I said, ooh. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, I see why the girls are wearing Karen low. Because Karen is full of shit still. Okay? Do I think that Karen took accountability? I think that Karen took accountability. I do. Do I think that she lied? Absolutely. I think her accountability was okay. Do I think Karen took accountability? Yes, but I think it was. But in the same breath, you know what? I don't know, because I think Karen is lying about her addiction. So I think that's where. Well, I guess not. That I'm thinking about it, because if I'm thinking, okay, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, Karen. Did Karen take accountability? No, because let me say this out loud. The reason why Karen did not accept accountability is because Karen is lying about the addiction. So how can you accept accountability when you can't even be truthful about what the problem is? Boom. Oh, Karen didn't take accountability, right? Because she's putting on the pills. And I don't think anybody is buying that it was the pills. Now, just because we're not buying it doesn't mean that doesn't mean that that Karen can't be telling the truth. But those 4 alcohol-related offenses, girl. So Karen, now I see. Because at first I was saying Karen was taking accountability, but now I think now that I'm talking through it, I can see why people are saying that she did not accept accountability, because she can't acknowledge that it appears as though she's an alcoholic. So how can you accept accountability when you can't even accept the fact that you're an alcoholic, which is the problem? Boom. See, sometimes you got to talk this stuff out loud. And I was literally about to end the video and sit here and think about it. And I said, no, you're gonna talk about this through. You're gonna talk this through out loud. Okay, so Karen didn't take accountability. She didn't. I just thought about that. Now it makes sense. Okay, so Karen didn't take accountability. She didn't, because she's still lying about why she's in the scenario that she's in. Nonetheless, the Helper is coming back next season, and I think that Karen is going to do a hell of a job at making sure that whatever is spoken about on the show, it doesn't heavily involve her in this wreck. I don't think any of the girls are going to be willing to really tug on Karen's wig the way that they should. Like, the thing is, they don't have I'm gonna go ahead and say, they don't have like a Kenya Moore on the show. They don't. Because even if Candace was there, Candace has too much respect and love for Karen. Whether you understand it or not, it's just the truth. Candace has too much love and respect for Karen to really just drag her. She's not going to do it at all. Wendy's not going to do it, because I think her and Wendy may get into it a couple of times on camera, but I think Wendy is going to be too involved with her own shit that's going on. And plus, I think that Wendy doesn't want to piss off the viewers. I do. So she's not going to do it. And even if Wendy was right in her tugging on Karen's wig, people are going to drag Wendy. Even though the majority of people who watched this interview saw that Karen was full of shit, when Karen comes back next season, if her and Wendy get into it, And if Wendy tugs on Karen's wig, even if Wendy is 100% in the right, people are still going to drag Wendy. And they're going to say, basically, girl, you can't say shit because you got your shit going on, even though one ain't got nothing to do with the other. You see what I'm saying? Giselle is not going to do it. Ashley, she not going to do it. She tried to a little bit when the shit first hit the fan. Remember when she got her like the Uber cards? Girl, but like what I'm basically saying is none of the girls are up to the task to really go there with Karen and tug on Karen's wig like they should. The only person that I could see really going and making Karen sweat and making Karen get up out of her seat is Shereice. Because Shereice, no shade to Shereice, but Shereice is a little thirsty for camera time. She is the only person that I could see tugging on Karen's wig multiple times. Like I could see her trying to scalp Karen. She been wanting a piece of Karen for a long time anyways. So this will be right up Karen. This will be right up Shereice's alley. And quiet as this, because we really don't want Ashley back next season anyways. But so yeah, I don't see any of the girls doing it. I'm just gonna say if all the girls came back. If all the girls came back plus Karen, they're not gonna do it. Kay's not gonna do it. Giselle's not gonna do it. Ashley's not gonna do it. Wendy's not gonna do it. Like nobody's gonna do it. So I think that Karen will come back next season, and it will be the same as before she left. While it might be a little 1-2, remember Jackie, Mia's representative? She tried to do it, and Karen had her in a corner crying. And, oh my God, I'm sure I'm really a nice person. I said, oh girl, get her whack ass off my screen. Girl, my thing is if you're gonna be up for the task, girl, Karen is not no slow girl. She's quick. And Karen don't mind cussing the girls out. So whoever go up against Karen, you're gonna have to be quick with it too. You know what I'm saying? You can't be no scary broad. You're going to have to be a girl who going to really have Karen ready, like jumping out of her seat, like Shereice had Karen jumping out of her seat when they were, where were they at? Mexico? I can't remember. Remember when Shereice and Karen got into it? Shereice is who gets under Karen's skin. Because Karen knows that Shereice in real life Shereice is a real grind dom. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Karen fits the aesthetic of what they want on the show, but in real life, Shereice is the real grand dame. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that in real life, Shereice is the girl. Karen is not the girl. On the show, she pretends to be. And people eat it up. But in real life, Shereice is the girl. And that's just true tea. Shereice is the real socialite, the one with the connections, the one who be at Beyonce, Tina's girl costume party, Met Gala version. You know what I'm talking about? Like that. Shereice is that girl. Shereice is the girl who put the girls together. I'm just saying. Anyways. So yeah. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I said all that. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that the ratings with the Karen are going to make a difference in contract negotiations? Or do y'all think they're going to say, girl, at the end of the day, girl, you need us, we don't need you? Because the girls going to watch regardless. They watched this season. Now, while yes, you had the highest rated episode ratings this season, it still doesn't take away from the viewers. They enjoyed the season. Even though it was really some bullshit to me, but I can be honest and say a lot of people actually like this season of Potomac. So yeah, I you know, girl, you ain't got. You ain't got too much wiggle room, girl. You can come in talking about, oh, I want this, I want that, but girl, you need us. We were all right without you this season, if we're gonna be honest. Girl, they really were. Girl, at one point, and girl, we're gonna be honest, girl. Wendy gonna be, if you don't bring Karen back, Wendy still gonna be there. So we still got something to talk about. So you get what I'm saying? So like, it's not like if I was the one doing the contracts, I'd be like, girl, she gonna take what the fuck we give her. Because quiet as it's kept, girl, we got Wendy at least up until April. No shade. No shade. Girl, because when is my girl's court day? Shout out to my girl. Girl, I'm gonna have to be girl. I already said girl, they're gonna have me banging down here next season for my girl. I think her her and Eddie's court date is in April. I don't think it's too far away. So, if they start filming now, at least my girl got a couple of months. Girl, my girl got a couple of months to, shoot, But yeah, I would just be like, girl, you gonna take what we gonna give you. Cause girl, we don't really need you anyways. Cause Wendy coming back, we know she coming back. And that'll be a few months of us. That'll give us something to talk about. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Y'all let me know what y'all think.